Okay, so today we are looking at, let me see if I can focus this in just a little bit better. And there we go. Alright, I want to focus that in. That's much clearer. Okay, so we have dividing decimals record sheet number 2. So today's practice is really just to practice doing what we were doing on Monday, or perhaps what you were doing Tuesday. Okay, so today is Tuesday or Wednesday, depends upon when you went on your field trip. So we have Kendra and her 3 siblings found $15. If they shared the money equally, how much money will each person get? So remember, it's this information right here, shared the money equally, is super important, because when I think about dividing, it's what is it that I'm sharing? And I happen to be sharing money. And so the money is going to come first. So I have $15 and I'm sharing that. So that tells me that I'm going to be dividing that by Kendra and her 3 siblings, which gives me 4 people. And I know that you talked a little bit about this on Monday, but remember, it's the total that is being divided, in this case, groups, to tell us the each amount. That will be the dollar amount for each. And so I'm going to do a quick estimate, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to relate this to multiplication, because division and multiplication are related to each other. And I know that if I have 4 people and each person got $3, that would give me 12. And so that's less than 15. But if I had 4 people and each person got $4, that would be $16. So that would be too much. So what I'm going to say is 3 times 4 is 12, but 4 times 4 is 16. So my range is going to be between $3 and $4. $3 and $4. Or I could just say more than 3. More than $3. Okay, so there's our quick estimate. If we wanted to be a little more exact, it would be between the value of $3 and $4. So let's think about what our picture is going to look like. And this is why we want a more efficient way, because right now I'm looking at the number 15 and I've got to divide that by 4. So I'm going to start out with Kendra and the 3 siblings. So sibling 1, sibling 2, and sibling 3. And I'm going to equally distribute the $15 that I have first. So that means I'm going to be counting. So Kendra gets $1, sibling 1 gets $1, sibling 2 gets $1, sibling 3 gets $1. Kendra gets another $1. Sibling 1 gets another $1, sibling 2, sibling 3. So that's a total of $8. Let's see if I can give everybody another $1. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. So right now I have a total of $12 that everybody's getting. But if I continued, that would be 13, 14, 15. And the problem with that picture is it's not going to work. It's not going to divide out evenly. So at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase those 3 extra dollars. And I'm actually going to make those $3 over here. So $1, $2, and $3. And because I'm dividing it by 4, I'm going to take each dollar and I'm going to divide it into 4 equal pieces. Now remember, from Monday, we know that when you cut $1 into 4 equal pieces, each piece is worth 25 cents. Because 4 groups of 25 cents gives you a whole $1. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to label this as Kendra, sibling 1, sibling 2, sibling 3. Kendra, sibling 1, sibling 2, sibling 3. Kendra, sibling 1, sibling 2, sibling 3. And now what I know is that Kendra is going to get these $3 plus she's going to get 25, 50, 75 because she's going to get 3 of these quarters. So each person's going to get 3 more quarters, and 3 more quarters would be 75 cents. So each person's going to get $3.75, which makes pretty good sense because when I made my estimate over here, I said that my value would be somewhere between $3 and $4. Definitely more than $3. All right. So of course, we don't want to have to draw a picture every time we're dividing. So what we want to do is we want to come up with a more efficient way, which is using that algorithm. So we're going to put 15 in our house, and we're going to divide by the divisor of 4. So anytime we want to divide and we're dividing by that number, we want to make a top-bottom chart to make it smooth and easy. And so I'm going to go ahead and set up my top-bottom chart on the right. And I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then I'm going to count by 4s, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 30, 28, 32, 36. Make sure you write 28 right here. Okay, now we're ready to divide. So how many groups of 4 are in the number 1? Well, there are 0. How many groups of 4 are in the number 15? So I scan and I look and I get as close to 15 without going over, and I see that I have the number 3. 3 groups of 4 gives me 12. So I'm going to record that down. Now I'm ready to subtract. 15 minus 12 is 3. Well, remember in 5th grade we don't get zeros. So there's 2 things we want to do. Or actually there's 3 things that we do. So we're going to add a decimal behind the whole number. We're going to pop the decimal up. So pop the decimal up. And we're going to add a 0 and then drop the 0. So add and drop 0. Alright, so those are the things you do. You add the decimal, pop up the decimal, add a 0, drop the 0. And now we have a new number called 30. And we just divide like normal. How many groups of 4 are in the number 30? Well, I go over here to the right, and I can get 7 groups, because 7 groups will give me a total of 28. And 30 to minus 28 will give me 2 left over. Well, I can't have a remainder of 2, so in this case, I'm going to have to add another 0, and I'm just going to drop that 0 down. We only add a 0 the second time. We don't need to add another decimal because we don't add 2 decimals to a number. Duh. Anyway, we drop the decimal. We drop the 0. Drop the 0. And then we divide again. How many groups of 4 will get me to 20? So I go over here to the side, and I scan, and I see 5. 5 on top, 20 on bottom. Subtract, and we get 0 left over. So our total is $3.75. Box that in so that your teacher can easily see your answer.